Obviously, great performance.
Thank you.
What was your favorite scene to film, and why?
I would actually say the scene in the workshop when you meet Ajax. When Wade meets Ajax for the first time, and he says, "Mr. Wilson, my name is Ajax. I run this workshop." You know, that was a scene I'd been looking forward to. It was the scene I auditioned.
Oh.
It was. I always knew it was going to be the meatiest part of my character. I loved the dialogue. It had such a wonderful cadence and flow to it, and you know, it's so well written. I was always looking forward to those parts, and I kind of knew as well those were the ones I needed to smash. You know, the other bits are great, and there's no small scene in a movie, but you got to kill the big bits. You got to lock them down. So I was really looking forward to that.
So you just said that was the scene when you used in the audition. Were you comfortable or confident after the audition? Said you got it?
No. The first audition I did a self-tape with my personal trainer, Serbo, who's a 6'9" guy, so I couldn't use his eye line. We did it in my front room, in my living room, filmed on iPhone 6. Then didn't pay me to put that in. And we did 2 auditions that day. We did one for Fargo, season 2, which went brilliantly. I thought I did a great job. And Deadpool, which my mate was like, "I've got to be honest, mate, I don't think you're getting this." It was like, out of the 2, he was like, "Fargo was great, man." We never heard back from Fargo. I assume they didn't like it. And we heard back from you know, the casting director saying that the director really enjoyed your tape, and could you go in with a casting director and do it a bit faster with a bit more energy, was his note. And I thought, hell yeah. And I went in, and the casting director said, "Do you want to read the script? We've got it here." And then come back in 3 hours and do it. I was like, "No, man, I've got this character. I know Ajax, or I know how I wanted to do it." So I did it. We did it literally like 2 or 3 times. Kind of, you know, she was happy. I walked out, and, you know, I do what I always do, which is rip up the sides and throw them in the bin and just cast it away and walk off into the sunset and get ready for the next audition. And it was amazing to hear that that we had the part.
So let's talk a little bit about your fight training. You were saying it earlier, said it was pretty intense. So
Yes.
explain it to me a little bit.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was, you know, I had a foundation, you know, from Transporter and a lot of the other things that I've done. I've had fight sequences. I'm a very physical person. I've done sports for a long time, but I've never had to do things on this level before. I mean, this was difficult. You know, the two-handed axe stuff is so difficult. You know, most people are one side dominant. I'm right side dominant. My left hand was terrible. You know, starting off, it was useless, and it was, so that was wonderful. You know, life is about improving, learning skills. You know, so what a blessing that my job is to learn. You know, and that every job I do, I gain more knowledge of something, and so, you know, it was great to work with Bob Breen. You know, he's an incredible guru and teacher in London. He taught me Carly Eskrima, Filipino knife and stick fighting. Then to go work with Phil Silvera, Rob Alonso, you know, my mentors on the movie, the fight coordinators, and then stunt guys Alex Kishkovich, Jeff Robinson, and Adrian Hine. They taught me so much. You know, you're only as good as your teachers, and I'm surrounded by, I always say, I'm a novice surrounded by scholars. You know, and maybe one day I'll be a scholar, but I'm a true novice now, and you know, I work my socks off to try and look like they do.
What else did you learn apart from the crossfighting? Because you say you always learn things. What did you learn from Deadpool?
I learned a lot from working with Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan's knowledge of the sets and how they work. He's very in touch with everything. You know, he's been doing this, I think he said his first movie was 26 years ago, you know. My first movie came out 4 years ago. So, you know, I'm still learning. I've got a lot to learn, and, you know, that was great. Another thing I take from Ryan is, you know, the way that he made the younger and less experienced actors, such as myself and everyone, feel. You know, the way he's so generous with his energy. He would sort of, you know, always make sure everyone was okay. And even though he was, you know, had so much on his plate and on his mind to lead the movie, he was still thinking about everyone else. And so, you know, people can sometimes be assholes and egotists, and he is the opposite of that. And so, you know, I vow to be like that. If I'm still in this game in 22 years and 26 years in, I want to be making younger actors feel like this. I'm not saying that Ryan Reynolds is, we must say that Ryan Reynolds started as a kid. Ryan Reynolds is not 60 years old and just has just really good skin regime. But yeah, he's a wonderful man. And Tim Miller taught me so much as well. You know, as a director, he's an incredible man.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.